Hello, everyone. It's Kim from K&RP here in southeastern Manitoba. It is a beautiful sunshiny day. It is currently minus 7 degrees Celsius, but it's minus 15 with the wind chill. That's what it feels like. So that means it's 20 degrees Fahrenheit and feels like 5 with the wind chill. So it's a little bit of a cooler day. So those of you who have been following me for a while know that I was making these pop boxes for Christmas. Oh, I got coffee dribble on that one. Oops. Okay. So I made these pop boxes, right? So that when the kids open up their presents, hopefully they're going to be surprised and it's going to be fun. They only wanted gift cards, etc., kind of thing this year. So I figured because they're teenagers, I really want to wake them up. So hence I did those. Now, the other problem being is I made 20 of them. So that's 2 sheets of paper each. And so, hi, Sherry, nice to see you. So when you cut them, you have to cut the top triangles off and you cut the bottom pieces off. So it's called almost like an arrow, but it's got a flat top. So I ended up with all these scraps of cardstock. Well, we all know Kim's not going to throw them out. No way. That's a lot of paper to go in the landfill. So I'm going to do some floral painting on some of these because I can always use them as tuck spots. So, yeah, that's kind of what I have planned for today. I hadn't really planned on starting any new projects, etc. It is what it is. I have to use up my scraps because I have lots. And my goal was not to make more, but I need to use full sheets to do those pop-up boxes. So I'm just going to take a couple of each color, and because they're, oh, look, more little bits. When you do those, you get a lot of scrap. I tell you, it's crazy. So like I say, I'm just going to take 2 of each, and we are going to stamp a background on with a couple of different things I've got, and then we're going to paint some florals. So that's what we're doing today, because, of course I'm going to use some down the edge of pages, right? Like to do something like this. So you've got this, and then maybe a yellow one, and a red one, and a blue one, and a green one. And down the edge of a page, that could be pretty fun, but we're not doing that. There's lots of uses for them. As I say, right now we are just going to do some paint stamping on them and then painting. You all ready for Christmas, Sherry? Do you celebrate Christmas? I still have one thing to bake. Of course, clean the house, and aside from that, I'm done. Oh yeah, I got to wrap these dumping boxes, and I'm doing this because it's just going to be easier to do a pattern on all of them this way. So I watered down this black paint at the end of the barrel kind of thing, just regular crafter paint. I watered it down. So we are going to brush it on. Let's grab a big brush. You don't do much? Yeah. Well, I mean, really, it's just my kids and grandkids that are going to be here. And of course, their partners. So we don't really do too much either. We're going to just get some paint on this honeycomb thing, and we're going to just use this as a background today. Yeah, no, everybody's coming here for supper tomorrow. And I mean, we have family suppers so often. It to me, it's just another family meal. We don't do gifts or anything. Just for the grandkids. So like I say, I'm just doing this. Because just some interest on the background because they're pretty solid. And these are really bright, these yellow ones. Okay, we'll do. I did. What do I need yet? Oh, I thought I had 5 colors. I guess I only have 4 colors. 1, 2. Oh, no, 5 colors. 3. And we'll do this blue one. And then I'm going to try that wood grain stamp and see what that does. For dinner. Oh, yeah, there's so much stuff going around. So much COVID again and crazy colds. Somebody I know in Ontario, her husband, and one of her kids, like they're grown kids, have COVID. So, yeah. Hey, Dana, yeah, Merry Christmas Eve. Hope you're well and everything you've got planned is happening. Happening. I am just putting some stamp. I did pop-up boxes, those jumping boxes, to put in the kids' Christmas things this year because they're teenagers and I want to make sure they're awake. You know. So I figured I did 20 of them because 4 kids, right? So I've got like a bazillion and one triangle scraps that I'm going to turn into corner pieces. So yeah, are you all ready, Dana? Do you have dinner at your place or do you go to one of your kids or sisters? How do you do your Christmas? We're trying this thing for the first time. Day surgery early. Oh, my goodness, Sherry, that's not fun. I hope that she's doing better. Ooh, that is kind of fun. I like it. I really like that one. Okay, so we got that. Oh, you're sick too? Do you have COVID as well? So many people have COVID. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. We've had abnormally warm temperatures. And so normally for Christmas, all my baking and stuff I put out on the deck and freeze, bag it, and then keep it on the deck so that when everybody goes home after supper tomorrow, they'll take all their frozen cookie dough. It's not cooked, it's just frozen raw. So we're supposed to have +1 tomorrow. So I couldn't risk anything thawing. So I had to clean out my freezers to put all that stuff in. Yeah, that's good, Sherry, especially with your mom not being well. So much of it going around again. It's crazy. Okay, so I figured I would just do some floral corners because they're simple and fast. You know, I could actually just use, instead of painting, I could just do some paper flowers. Am I changing my mind in the middle of the stream? Yes, I am. I've got some little paper flowers that I do, right? We can just cut them in hunks and put like a little paper flower. Nah. Let's paint. I feel like painting. Yeah, it's been crazy here. Crazy. We've been doing a puzzle. I figured that we would start a puzzle yesterday so that we could have some downtime before, having everybody over for supper. And we like doing puzzles. And the puzzle that we started is a little bit of a beast of one. It's actually taken us longer than a day. So it's still right across my kitchen island. And I still have to bake meringues and wrap presents, or, well, the incentive gifts. So that's just kind of crazy. So I cleaned my brush. I'm just going to do some leaves. Let's add some yellow. I'm using, this is Prang ready to use tempera paints. I like mixing it with my acrylics for leaves. So if that's in the corner, it doesn't really matter how you put your leaves on. So just going to do some fun leaves. It's not showing up great on the green. I can come back and go over them again. Probably won't show up on the blue worth a darn either. Oh, it shows better. So I'm either just going to paint a rose or a daisy or whatever in the corner. Just something a little bit pretty. And of course, we can always put some lace on the edging, should we desire. We're just having fun. I guess I could have painted some wreaths. And because I'm just painting one flower in the corner, it could go at the top of the page, it could go at the bottom of the page. We're just having fun. Just having fun. So I'm double coating my brush in yellow and green and just doing like a wobble stroke. Me and my wobbles. I may have to come and do a second coat. Some of them are pretty pale. I've been watching a lot of that who, whatever. The one that Jean and I were following on Friday, kind of copying his art. My goodness, I love his watercolor doodles. We don't celebrate with my sisters or brother. It's just us, us and our kids and grandkids throughout the years because, kids age, they get spouses, they have kids. It just turned out to be too big of a crowd. Not that, I just don't have room for it. And then my sister has 4 stepkids. So she found it just easier to celebrate with, their family than everything. Okay, so those are still pretty wet. We can wait for those to dry a little bit. All right. Thanks for posting that, Sherry. Anybody in the balcony, please check out Sherry's Coffee Shop. I just posted an image of those crazy bookmarks I did on Sunday. They're huge, guys. They are like huge. Really. I got really carried away. Like that's really bold. Big and bold. Okay, so those leaves kind of show up good on the screen. I guess if I outlined them with some black. No, I think I might want to go over them anyway. So maybe while I'm waiting for it to dry, maybe do just like a metallic something edging. How about, what have I got? Let's do some silver. Just some silver stitch marks or S marks or something. These are triangular shaped and they're double ended. Can't remember where I got them, but just doing a quick S kind of mark border while I'm waiting for the paint to dry. These are markers. They are metallic marker. Double tip marker. And I don't even remember who makes them. Oh, Color Factory. I got them at a dollar store in Gimli. Their dollar store has amazing stuff in it. It's well worth the trip. It's not why we go there, but it's almost 2 hours from here. Yeah, I definitely like this silver. Do little stitch marks. And normally, yeah, I would do this at the end, but since I'm waiting for paint to dry and I don't want to bore you guys too much, I figured I would just do the border marks now. And because this is cardstock, I'm not going to have to I'm not too worried about putting anything on the edge to strengthen it because it's pretty tough and they're little. Like if it was a big pocket or something, I might do that. But for this, I am not going to bother. Just do dots on this one. Yeah, yesterday when we were doing the puzzle for, I didn't sleep very good the night before. So I was going through being really, really cold and then really, really hot. I tend to do that anyway, but yesterday was bad enough that I actually put a sweatshirt on, which I never do in the house. So it was on off kind of thing. And I was hoping that I wasn't getting sick. Today I'm perfectly fine. I had a decent sleep last night, so that seemed to be very good. I certainly don't want to be sick at this time of year. Well, I don't want to be sick at any time of year, but you know what I mean. Love to see my grandkids and my kids. Now that the grandkids are teens, I really don't see as much of them as I used to. They're not calling and saying, "Hey, I'm coming for the night," or things like that. Hey, Malia, nice to see you. So I made 20 of those pop-up boxes, Malia, and ended up with all these triangular scraps of cardstock. So I figured I would paint them up to use as text spots for journals, etc., or even just page protectors. Just glue them at the corner of a page. And so I'm waiting for the leaves to dry, and I am deciding if I need to go over them again or if I can just get away with detailing with some black. So I am just using a silver marker to do some doodles. Yeah. Thanks. So, you all ready? I hope that you're well. I know that you weren't feeling good, and one of your littles was not well. I hope all that's cleared up for you. We were just talking about that. Dana's not well. So they were supposed to host, but she's not. Sherry's not well, so they're not doing anything for Christmas. You're all still sick. Oh no. You know what, Malia? I guess I was probably about your age when I decided that whatever gets done for Christmas gets done, and I'm not going to stress about it anymore. Like, just be thankful for even having a gathering and a family meal, because it's just a lot of work and a lot of stress, especially if you make gifts, right? So I just, now it's like I get done what I get done, and if something doesn't get done, we still have plenty. Did you see those crazy hidden paper clips I did on Sunday, Malia? I'm telling you. Something wrong with my brain, I think. I have trouble doing journal covers. For some reason, I just really struggle with them. So I've taken to making these things, these scrap shabby chic flower things on a paper clip, and then I shove it on the front cover, and then I don't care. I can just make them gaudy and smile and nod because they're fun. I don't understand how some of these people can get their covers to look so beautiful. I just can't. And yeah, I've used gel prints and stuff, but it's just not right. Not it just doesn't work for me. You know, again, it's just scrap fabrics and lace, shabby chic, hot glued down, and I started with a 2-inch circle. I've got a bunch of these made up, and this is like coffee filter, a little bit of lace, some wire ribbon, pipe cleaners. That one's got a pom pom center. You know, they're pretty quick to make, and it uses up a lot of my fabric and stuff. Yeah, Sherry. Yeah. What? Did I stick my finger in and am smearing? I think it was paint. Could be paint. So I'm using yellow tempera, and it's really, really translucent. So that's why I'm wondering if I need to go over these leaves or not. The floral part's going to be yeah. See, what I've been doing is I crochet a long string and put like a tassel kind of thing on the end or some beads. And then I attach it to the paper clip and I wrap it around, right? And just use that like a big button. Works great. Yeah. Yeah, they don't take too long. Those ones are a little bit wild and above board. A lot of times I add beads and like little strands of beads and whatever, but because I was just doing white and gold, because I want to get rid of all the gold glitz stuff that I like gold. Anyway, my daughter borrowed my shoebox full of white beads and my shoebox full of pearls. So she didn't bring them back. So I don't have that kind of fun things. Yeah, basically you just start with something big at the back if you want to cut out paper petals or something so it's a little bit stiff to hold things up, or use like a really thick ribbon for the back petals. And you don't have to do anything fancy. You can just take a piece of ribbon and loop it, and it makes a nice petal. So, and then you just gradually make them smaller until you're happy, and you put a blingy thing in the middle, unless you like this one, because I've got these crazy glitter leaves. I use glitter glue on a black pom-pom that matches, but that's just that tulle ribbon and just some fabric, and just some ribbon. They're fun. And you can do them any color you want, depending on the fabric and stuff you've got. I just happen to have a big bin of white stuff because I'm not a big fan of white either. And a lot of times I have touched like the coffee filters and the yarns and stuff with some watered down food coloring or watercolor paint or whatever, and it works. But I swore I wasn't going to use any full pages anymore, or until I got rid of my scraps, and then I made those jumping boxes, and that was 40 papers worth of cardstock, and then I goofed on one, so it was actually 41 pages of cardstock. So I've got like 80 triangles and 80 of these, because you take 2 off every one. So it's cardstock play. I was actually thinking, that Who guy that Jean and I did that watercolor thing. I think I might try doing some of those on these as well. But I figured, Christmas Eve, let's just do something fun, fast, something that I don't have to think about because I still have some baking to do and that puzzle to finish. But nobody's coming until 4 o'clock tomorrow, so I have lots of time. And because it's just Ron and I here, we don't get up at okay. We don't have kids to get us up and make us do things really fast. We get up when we feel like it, and, it is what it is. Okay, so I did white marks on each of them. I'm happy with that. Do I just want to use a gel pen or that black paint I've got sitting there? Gel pen's going to be faster. Let's do that. Make sure it's dry because you don't like running gel pens over wet stuff. Oh, look, they're still wet. This one's okay. I can do this one. And again, because these are just going to go as corner tucks, I'm not going super elaborate. I think that because I do so much, most of what I put in a journal is my own work, I'm starting to be not quite as detailed, maybe. Does that make sense? I don't know. So just a reminder, Miriam and I are doing a streaming marathon New Year's Eve. We are starting at midnight her time and going until midnight my time, unless the beautiful Carol McDonald joins us, in which case we'll probably go to her midnight, which is an hour past my time. So we're going to play some games and visit and just have a good time. That one's wet. That one's wet. I really slathered the paint on these things. I have a fixation with flowers, which is weird because I never used to be so flower oriented as I am now. But that's okay. I have a thing that says the earth laughs in flowers, and it's true. Okay, these ones need to dry. So we'll just go ahead with these ones. I tried this thing out. I like the way it works. It did these marks. It's supposed to be a wood grain, but it's more like concentric circle things. And then it's got a rubber thing on each side, and this you can do either side. Picked it up at our hardware store because I was asking them about texture stuff, and this is what they gave me. I was looking for something more like expanded metal or something to play with. Yeah, we're not doing the streamathon. We're just doing a marathon, Miriam and I. Raul is doing the streamathon with all you beautiful people. Okay, let's do some roses. I love doing roses. Grab a red. So yeah, we're going to be running while the streamathon's going. Unfortunately, but it's what we're doing. All right. And some white. Hey, Jan, how are you feeling today, hon? Everybody seems to be sick. I hope you're feeling better. I did all those jumping boxes, so ended up with all these corners and these side things. The only problem with these side things is they have score marks on them for folding, but you score it before you cut it. So I've got a bazillion of those and a bazillion of these. All right, we're going to do some rose things. Still positive? Oh, I'm glad you're better than you were. Definitely glad you're better than you were. Okay, so some of these are still wet. I just managed to avoid them. Okay, we're going to do those roses that I do. So we're going to start with the circle for the center, and that's what we work around. Just using a flat brush. It's not a very fine tip flat brush. It's more, can't remember what it's called. It's not a chisel, but it doesn't come to a sharp edge. Malia, you also have it, do you not? I hope you guys all get better soon. Like, crazy, my friends are sick like this. It's just not right at this time of year. Do you think you got it from the little one, Jan? My friend in Mississauga, also, her whole family has it. Except for her one child. Oh, sinus infection? Oh, that's just as yucky, though. Those are annoying as all get out. Oops. supposed to just do red. Red roses on a red paper. We'll see how well it shows. As I say, I'm not too terribly concerned. Because it's just a little accent on the corner of a page. Oh, daycare, yeah. Yeah, I was wondering. Oh, see, I did it again. But Fiona didn't get it, did she? Like, starting to, you're supposed to get a big, we're supposed to get +1. +1. I had to clean up my freezers to put all the baking in. That was a big job. I ended up having to cook an apple pie, a roast. I've been eating out of the freezer the last few days so that my baking doesn't thaw. Okay, these ones can then get inked. Yeah, we don't want rain. Definitely don't want rain. Are you still having breakfast at your place tomorrow? Yeah, well, you know how I operate, Jan. You know how it is in my house. I always have lots of food, and I didn't even manage to get all the cookie dough done that I had planned on. But I've also got the stuff that I've made for supper in the freezer, right? Like I've got the meatballs, the rouladen, the red cabbage. It's all cooked, waiting just to be reheated. And I still have the polka dot meringues to do, so I'm going to do that. I've got the egg whites sitting out, so they're coming to room temperature. I'll do that after this. Then we'll finish the puzzle, unless Ron finishes it while I'm down here. And then I can wrap incentive gifts and the dumping boxes. Still a few things to do. Yeah. Boxing Day works too. Well, I don't know what my kids would have up for Boxing Day, but we're doing it tomorrow. Mind you, nobody here is unwell, so makes a difference. Makes a very big difference. Some of the paint is still wet. I really like that picture you posted, Jan. That was beautiful. Yeah, it's just the kids and the grands minus M because they're working and couldn't make it home. See, I got paint in that ink. All pencil crayons? Nice. Nice, nice. I actually, that guy that Gene and I were trying his artwork out, the watercolor, I've been watching a lot of his stuff lately. So I sent it to my 3 girls because they all do watercolor. They took a watercolor course and didn't invite me to go along with them, little brats. Anyway, I figured that if they had those on hand to doodle, especially for Sandra, if she's in a meeting, she likes to doodle. So I thought that maybe that would be something she could make up and have just kicking around her office. Yeah, I love it when we get together for Christmas. I think it's going to be a blast. Rob's never celebrated Christmas with us, obviously. So, and he's never met the little boys either. So, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be like having a whole bunch of teenage boys with ADHD at my table. You know? It's definitely going to be a good time and noisy. I'm expecting it to be very loud. I will. I will. I will. Definitely give them and you give love and hugs to, well, no. Don't give hugs if you're not well, but give everybody my love there. Have you tried any like doing his style of stuff, Jan? Sherry, anybody? Have you tried that Who Guys watercolor and Zentangles? My word. I just I am so in love with it. So in love with it. I have been working on the calendar for January. I think I've got January all looked after for what's happening. And yeah. No Feral Artist Group this Sunday because it's the last Sunday of the month. This Sunday coming. We will return in January. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know the way my house operates, Jan. You've experienced the chaos of the kids. Mind you, they're not nearly as bad. They've really grown up. Yeah, see, I haven't really done that. I think because I really like the punch of acrylics compared to watercolor. Jean and I are going to do some watercolor practice on Friday in January because I really would like to learn how to get some deeper color happening for sure. For sure. Thanks. They are good. Dee and Janessa ended up moving to the city last weekend. So they've got a bit of a ways to travel now. They are just in St. Vital, but still, it's not like being in the next town, right? All right, there, got some roses. Got the roses happening for these. Got lots of paint sitting here. I have not mastered, out of all the years of painting, I have not mastered putting down just a little bit of paint. We're just going to take a dark green pencil, dark green, maybe a blue, dark green. And we're just going to go along the center lines of the leaves, just a little bit of shading around the flower. Just so that it's got that little bit of depth. I think I want just a little. Let's get a liner brush. Just make sure that center of that rose looks nice and clear. That's better. That's better. It is relaxing, Sherry. That's how I was trying to tell my kids, like, but as I say, they do watercolors. They took a course at Artist Emporium. And as I said, didn't invite the mama. But that's okay. Yeah, that one I did with Miriam, that crazy one I did on the canvas board, my goodness, I sure had fun with that. It was very crazy though. I don't normally do those near graphic art things. But I've decided that this upcoming year is going to be more a case of playing in my art journals. I have to start a new one and just learning some new techniques and things. Oh yeah, calm the ADHD brain. Yes, for sure. Definitely. Between ADHD and PTSD and anxiety, yep. Art is such a healing thing. So, Dan, when you guys do Christmas breakfast, is it the same as a brunch? Do you do the crepes and the whole gamut? And I have to ask, let me think, how many people do you have? 4, 5, 7? There's 7 of you. How many crepes do you make? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, that paint was still wet. Look, it came off on my pencil. You do the whole brunch thing. Ugh. Yeah. Sandra and I were talking about brunches, and I don't know. I can appreciate you doing it, but my word, I don't know that I'm up to that, because everybody likes crepes but me. And you know what sweet tooth my family has. Oh no. So I have a pencil sharpener here someplace. Really, I do. Anyway, I will make crepes for 2.5 hours. And somebody always ends up taking maybe 10 of them home. But I've got like maybe over 40 crepes for the group. I just find it so much work. Like, do you have a proper crepe pan, or one of those ones where you dip it in the batter and you let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then, or do you stand over a frying pan like I do? Yeah. I only have one pan that cooks them well. So that's a big part of my problem. I used to have proper crepe pans, but then we got the new stove, and it's an induction stove. Anybody who's getting a new stove, the induction stove is great. Not good if you have a pacemaker. Um, I love it, but I had to get a lot of different bakeware. You make them in the cast. Well, yeah. Do you have a glass top stove, Jan, or do you have like the elements? See, with my induction, I can use cast iron on it, but the black cast iron, because it's raw, right? I'm leery of it scratching, so what? There's something I do. Oh, I have to have parchment paper down on it. Just an hour? Okay. Takes about an hour. Well, maybe I make a whack load more. I don't know. Seriously, it takes 2.5 hours. But I don't follow a recipe. I do it the way Oma did it, right? Where you just mix everything up until it's the right consistency. So I think it ends up being 4 or 5 cups of flour in the end. Yeah, I guess I could too. I just haven't. I did buy the enameled cast iron frying pans from Costco, but because it's got that enamel coating, I find that I can't get them seasoned to non-stick. Hey, Chris, welcome. So I haven't managed. They don't. You know how the real cast iron, you can get seasoned so they're non-stick. Welcome, welcome, Chris. Merry Christmas. Or happy holidays. I'm not sure what you celebrate. I did these pop up boxes. I did 20 of these pop up boxes, right? So that I would put them in the kids' Christmas presents so they open them up and they fly out. So in order to do 20 boxes, I used 40 pieces of paper, and you cut off the top two triangles and the bottom rectangles. So I ended up, now my cast iron doesn't stick either. It's seasoned enough. It doesn't stick. But with these other ones, they are nasty. Anyway, so I ended up with like 80 triangles and 80 rectangles, actually 82 of each, because I mucked up one of the pieces of paper and I had to do another one. So I figured I would just do a whole bunch of little corner tucks. So I'm just painting florals on them. Okay, yeah. So that's kind of what my plan was for the day, is just decorating up, using up scraps, because I'm not throwing all this cardstock out. Okay, so let's do some more. So all I did was, because I wanted to mark them before um, I painted them. So I just used a couple of mark making things. Are you on a winter break or anything right now, Chris? Because I know like the schools here do a big Christmas break. They're off for a couple of years, a couple of weeks, because they don't go back until after New Year's. Is it the same there? So this is a texture tool I got at the hardware store, and I really like what it does. So now, well, I will paint at a different corner. Paint on the plain stuff. I think I did just two last time, right? Oh, back to work January 2nd. Okay, yeah. Like here. Like here. I didn't do four with that. I did four with the honeycomb thing. I did two. Do you have big family dinners when you celebrate Christmas, Chris? Or is it just kind of low key? And do you celebrate New Year's as a big thing? See, you can tell all hand cut, they don't match up. And the green one and the yellow one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 5 colors. 5 colors. So I'm probably going to end up collaging some of these. All kinds of stuff. Right. Okay. Friends on the 24th. My husband's family always celebrated on the 24th, but they never really did anything for New Year's Eve. Hey, Beth, nice to see you. Remember I said I was going to make any scraps? I lied because I did those jumping boxes. I've got 80 triangles of cardstock to use. So I'm making corner things for journals. So I did some roses. Now I think I'll do some daisies. I'm just playing and using stuff up. Okay. Oh, I left it in the water. I could do hidden paper clips too. I just figured I would use some up while I'm on stream today, and because I've got rectangles as well. I have 80 of these as well. So I'm going to add some white to this mixture. Yeah. Make the leaves just a little bit thicker color because that yellow, as I say, is watercolor, tempera paint. That's a lot of paint on the brush. Let's actually get some color there. There we go. You had to collage a box to put your paper clips in. My paper clips are too big to put in a box. Hey, Miss Allie K, welcome, welcome. Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, depending on what you celebrate. I am painting florals on scraps because I made pop-in boxes and they took 40 pieces of cardstock. So I have 80 triangles to use up. Yeah. Hi, Michelle. Welcome, welcome. Merry Christmas. I'm painting scraps because I have lots. Because I swore I wasn't going to chop up and make more, but I lied. Go to restaurants, hotels, and celebrate. That's cool, Chris. Very cool. So where it's kind of blank, I'm trying to cover it. We still have a puzzle to finish. before I can finish doing stuff in the kitchen because it's on my kitchen island. It's really not often that we have a 1,000-piece puzzle that we don't get done in the day. Don't know what our issue is with this one, but it's okay. If I don't get done what I need to get done, I obviously didn't need it. All right, leaves. Got leaves. Don't think I'm going to outline them this time. Because variety is the spice of life, I am going to do little daisies all over the place. So I need a nice little round brush. Not too little. Something like that I'm going to use. Don't know what it is. Don't know what size it is. Sorry, guys. Don't know what size it is. Dress up nice. Oh, wow. That sounds beautiful. Yeah, we do big family meals at Christmas, so I don't know that my kids would be able to afford to do that. So I'm just doing little clusters of daisies. Book a room. Yeah, that makes sense. Almost, yeah. Can't drive home. Yep. Yes. Same here. Like we have uh check stops and all kinds of stuff. So we also have a program called Red Nose. And if you're too drunk to drive home, you can call and they will come and pick you up and drive you home. And I believe it's two people that come to get you, and one drives your vehicle home and you go in their vehicle. It's also a nice check against drunk drivers. Oh, I guess I'm going to put extra ones on this one. Hey, Brenda, nice to see you. Merry Christmas, hon. Yeah, check stops. They've already been catching people because, companies have Christmas parties. I am using up scraps, Brenda. I know that that's no surprise. I made those pop-up boxes. I made 20 of them, so that's 40 pieces of paper, and you cut off the corners, top two corners, and so I've got like 80 triangles to use, guys. So I figured I'd just do some little corner tucks, and because they are on cardstock, I'm not going to worry about thickening the edge at all. I'm just going to have them on the corners. Maybe I might glue it right down. Yeah. Awesome. You got an envelope from Brenda today? Perfect. Yeah, we call it, it's called like red nose. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, yeah, we've got the same kind of thing here too, Brenda. I love it. I think that's a great idea. I really, really do. I really do. It's a fat one too? Yeah. Even better. I will be sending yours out very soon, Beth. I don't want anything getting lost because they're so backed up from the postal strike. Jan, you should be getting your envelope too. Oh, you got it yesterday? All right. Well, I mean, I sent it before the strike, right? So that's good to know because Anne got her envelope as well because she won the journal in October. Hmm. Well, that's wrong. I'll have to do that right up the edge. It's okay. I have no problem figuring out. Figure it out. Maybe I'll put one over here. I'm glad you got it. Yes. They do keep doing it over and over until tragedy hits. I mean, I used to work in a bar and I would cut people off. I had no problem telling people that they weren't getting anything more to drink. But one of the other people who worked with me in the bar, her brother was actually hit by a drunk driver. He'd stopped on the highway to remove a piece of furniture or something that was in the middle of the road, and a drunk driver didn't see his car with the flashers on and hit him. Beth's card only took 8 days to find her. That's awesome. Well, we had that postal strike. It was on for 5 weeks. So I think that everything I've sent out to people has been claimed, and I haven't sent anything out since the strike started. So Beth's stuff from November will be going out probably. You know what? I want to wait until after the new year, Beth. I just want to make sure that everything's caught up because I know that they're just starting to take stuff from small businesses. I guess I should be going this way. So I don't even know if they're taking private mail yet. Am I on screen? Okay. It has. Oh, yeah, for sure. It really has. I mean, our parents' generation used to drink and drive. I mean, it was normal for our generation to drink and drive. You'd get fined if you were caught, but there was, definitely. Well, that's awesome, Chris. Well, this is my usual time for streaming, so I figured I would come and do this and wish everybody, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, depending on what you celebrate. I wish you all the best for your celebrations. Evidently, one of my sisters is celebrating today. Her family is coming today to have the meal at their place. And my other sister is going to her stepdaughter's. You're going to be on at 6 tonight? I will try and make it. It depends on if I manage to get that stinking puzzle finished so I can do my wrapping and that kind of thing. As I say, I still have cookies to make. Oh, and I guess I have to chop up bread for stuffing. Yeah, I still have some kitchening to do, as well as I should probably clean my house. I'll be honest. It's just my family coming. Just my kids and grandkids. They come once a month, once every couple of months for dinner. They know the way my house is. Why do I feel that I need to clean? They know what my house looks like. They've seen all the dust. They've seen the paint stuff on the table. You know, why is it ingrained in me that I actually need to clean up because I'm having company? They're not company. Am I the only one? You cleaned the house yesterday and today the car. You tired? Oh, yeah, I get you. I get you. I so understand that. Well, I don't like the white paint on the yellow cardstock. It doesn't show. Note to self, no more daisies on yellow cardstock. Yes, Jan. Yes. Oh, Beth, I am not a good example. I mean, when my kids were growing up, I used to carve. So I would carve at the kitchen table. So I would just sweep the shavings onto the floor and we would eat at a dusty table. No, it's yeah. I am not a good example, and I admit it. My mom used to come and give me a white glove test when she came to visit. I live on a gravel road. Our windows are open often, especially in summer. And you can't keep up with the dust. The farms, the guys are out in the fields and kicking up dust. It travels. There's only one road between us and the farm. We get dust. So, yeah, no. My mom, she too suffered from pilot's disease, where she would pile things here, pile things there. But she did dust, vacuum, and wash the floors on a regular basis. Yeah, exactly, Brenda. It's hard to keep the dust off. And I have a good 2 hours worth of dusting to do when I dust. Bo just got the tree out of the attic. 2 6 2 Awesome. Oh no. Oh no, Brenda. I have, what have I got? I've got just a 7 footer and I like it. It's good. It's good enough. You're a pilot too? Yeah, I suffer from pilot's disease. Your mom's house was cleaner than clean. No, my mom wasn't quite that bad. And you've got cats, yeah. See, Beth, there's a name for us, or name for that for us, for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna give some yellow centers to these daisies. Like I say, these are just like little bits of whimsy. They're gonna go on the corner of a page, just as a tuck spot, just something a little bit fun. Again, yellow is a very opaque, no, translucent color. You have to put a lot down for it to show. And my dad was a woodworker too, right? Woodworking and carving and building furniture, etc. So there was always sawdust in our house. Always sawdust. So I thought it was really annoying that she would white glove test me. Yeah, those daisies don't show at all. Oh well. Need x-ray vision for these daisies. Maybe they'll figure they're there because of the white center or yellow centers. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, they had corn in the field behind us one year, and we still have corn husks up high in our trees that the wind hasn't knocked down, and it's been a couple of years. Usually it's wheat or canola that they plant back there. Very seldom will it be flax or something like that. Wow, I got lots done, guys. Thanks for being here and keeping me company. You've got pilot's disease too? Yep. Aren't you glad there's a name for it now? Yeah. You've got Spanish moss. That hangs from the trees, doesn't it? And does it dry and get dusty, or you guys are very humid there, aren't you, Beth? Okay, these ones I didn't do an edging around. Those ones I just used a silver. They got to be different. They've got to be different. So I can come along and put lace along it if I want. Um, They're just going to be fun little tuck spots in the journals, you know? Or they could just be a corner tab. Oh, you don't even notice it now? Yeah. Dulcimers. I saw that in one of your pictures. I was oogling them. Ogling them? Yes. No, it doesn't bother me until I dust either. My dad was building banduras. That's the Ukrainian, they can have like 72 strings or whatever. So gave one to a friend to finish, and I still have one here that Ron was going to finish, but we never did get around to. So it's okay. It's okay. Let's do a black with some green and do a center line on these leaves. Well, it's more black than green, but it still just gives that little bit to the leaf. To the leaves. Oh, okay. You have to bleach it. That's interesting. I just read books about, you know, the moss on the trees and that. You know, well, the books aren't about the moss on the trees, but so many authors include it. You know, as part of their what's it called? You know, when they're describing stuff, descriptive narrative. There was one science fiction fantasy series I read many, many years ago, and they had a forest in it called Morin Moss Forest, and they had moss hanging from the trees. So I was, you know, every time I think Spanish moss, I think of that book series. We just have regular like caribou moss, which is the blue crunchy stuff. We do also have the green moss. I'm not sure exactly what that's called. That is damper. Oh, that one's done. That one's done. Oh, look, they're all done. Okay. This is good. So these are all dry. I used paint and stamp behind them. And then I outlined them with a silver marker or something. I don't even know what it says, marker. So me and my flowers. So those are the roses. The daisies are still drying. So we'll put them up here. This is a great way to use up this kind of stuff. Really is. Okay, now what? Now what? That's lots of florals. Oh, thanks, Chris. So I'm saving the paper, but I've got lots of paint. I guess I can scrape it on some journal pages or whatever. Or maybe I'll just do like some marks. That's what I'll do. I'll do some mark making with it. Oh, we won't use green because of the red. I got black and yellow. Just throw some mark making on. And then I can do little floral collages on them. Or something. Well, 2 of each color. Use these up as fast as possible so I don't have them kicking around. Orange. Eek. They're going to be everywhere. I had little snips of paper everywhere because you cut off the corners for the tabs. They were quite labor intensive, but I sure had fun. Okay, we're just going to do this because it'll just make it easier for mark making. And then we're going to grab the mark making bin and pull something out and just make marks so that they're ready to go for other things. What are we going to use? How about, oh look, I have a cracked embossing folder. I don't know why it exploded on my machine. So I've got this. Let's use these. So let's do some pink and white. Or red and white. So we'll have like a pink kind of thing happening. I guess 3 bars. 3, not bars. Put it together. And go this way. Go that way. Put it down. So the musical notes didn't show on that one. Wonder, I can't ever remember which side it's supposed to use for the embossing side. Doesn't really matter. We're just gonna, it's okay to have it just the way it is. It's just background, right? Just so it's not just that big, bright, solid color. This cardstock that I was using is called Primary Colors. I don't know when orange and green became primary colors, but I'm not arguing. They're fun. They're nice and bright. They worked exactly for what I needed, and they're cheerful, and that's all that matters, right? Right. Just slathering paint on. Oops. Not quite to the edge. It's okay. If I'm doing collage work on it or doodling on it after, I just need the hints of the color on here. Just the hints. Oh, I got paint on that. And you know what? If I don't like this side, I could use the other side. Or I can actually throw 1 or 2 out if I'm not happy. Because it is just paper. You know, I say that so often. It's just paper. You can throw it out. Well, you know I can't. Who am I kidding? And yeah, I'm going to get these all marked, and then they'll just be ready to use. Hey, nice to see you. Hope it's good. Oh, shortbread's in the oven. Help. Good morning to you. It is actually Christmas Eve here, 2:20 in the afternoon, Christmas Eve. And my shortbread is cooked and in the freezer. No, it's not cooked. It's raw. It's in the freezer. I give my kids raw cookie dough for Christmas. But I do have to make meringues yet today. Do you do the whipped shortbread or the pressed shortbread? I'm nosy. I'm being messy today too. Not that I'm ever neat and tidy, but moving. I have 80 little triangles that I need to use. I made something and I have all these little scraps to use up. So now I've got a whole bunch of paint sitting here that I need to use. So I am just going to make on them so I can paint flowers or whatever I feel like later. 2:20, you too? Yeah. Hey, we're on the same time, Chris. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, now what am I going to use for mark making? I have so much stuff, guys. You know what? Let's see. Well, I have this. It's a kid's ball. It had a light in it or a bell or something. But it makes really cool marks. So let's do a bunch with these. Pressed. Nice. My mom did pressed. I do whipped. Because I need to have extra work. I can't just have, you know. Yellow and green. There we go. And these ones are just going to be separate. We're just going to take this ball and blob it in this red and white. No, I think I'll use the greens and yellows. And it's going to be what it's going to be. It's almost like a little flower, just the way it is. I might just be able to do a border on that and leave it. Or I could paint little flowers on that, have it like a wishing ball, like a kissing ball, Christmas kissing ball. Oh, got some black. That's okay. And one more. That used that paint up nicely. I just don't want too much of the solid color. Well, I could have solid, you know. I'm just breaking it up a little bit. Okay, so we've used this. We used that. I used the honeycomb and that. What else have I got? What else have I got? I have a little wooden stamp, little circle stamp that my husband turned for me. I'm just prepping these last ones. I can doodle on them or whatever. I have 5 different colors. I did 20 of those jumping boxes, 4 of each color. That took a lot of work. Should I do black? Let's do the red and white. And I'm going to take a stick, little mixing stick, make kind of a pinky. Then I'll take some of it off because it gets pretty thick. And we're just going to put that randomly all over. Those are fun. Running out of drying space here. That's much more pink. Oh no. Oh, it's got a big glob of paint. Let's not put the paint on, wet paint on the keyboard. You have enough of paint on there. I was doing spatter painting. My screen, my keyboard, my tablet, everything on that was just covered with spatter. You know, my grandfather always used to say, too soon old, too late smart. And he was really right in my case. And this one. And again, I'll probably just do like little floral collages on some of these. Or even just sticking on a bitsy bird or, you know, something like that. A couple of fish. Be lovely. It would be lovely, lovely. All right, what else have I got? What else? What else? Oh, I've got this thing. Makes a really cool sunflower burst kind of thing. Let's get 5 more. Hope everybody is having a wonderful holiday season so far. Okay, so let's use some. Do I want to use the black for that? How about if I mix this yellow in with this red stuff and get like a peachy skin tone thing? Just like that. Just using that paint now. It's alive. These are like little suns. They're cute. Or they could be little flowers, whatever. Whatever they are, they're cute. It's breaking up the solid color of this paper. Smeared it. Almost. Big clump of paint there. Heck. Toothpick. Or something. Remove that. So yeah, just mark making right now. Because mark making is fun. Then I just have the black to use, and I will call it a day. Whoa. I have this weird pattern on this side. I haven't tried it. We're going to try it. We are going to try it. I'm going to dry that off because otherwise I'm going to be covered in paint. We know how that goes. And then I'll still have a stack of these to use, but it's not as overwhelming as having them all 80 pieces. Oh, look. See, so I've got paint on that side, so I'm going to flip them over and use the other side. I'll use this one. We'll get you out of there. Yellow, red, and orange. So I would like to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a very happy holiday season. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Feliz Navidad. Whatever you are celebrating, I wish you all the best. I will be streaming again on Friday and next Tuesday. There will be no Feral Artist Group this Sunday. It's the last Sunday of the month. What else? Oh, well, that's maybe not as... It's leaving marks. That's all that matters, right? Most bland tree ever. Oh, no. Our tree is covered in handmade ornaments. I guess these aren't all the same height. Maybe I need to put a foam pad under. It will be what it will be. Our tree is covered in handmade ornaments pretty much. Wooden ones and Fimo and all kinds. Dough art, salto stuff, things that kids have done throughout the years and we've done, and yeah. All right. This is the last one. So thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I wish you all the best. Hope it's full of peace, love, laughter, and no WTF moments for you. And everybody in the balcony, anybody who watches replays, thank you very much. I hope I have inspired you guys to create, even though I was pretty boring today. Thanks, everyone. Hugs to you all. And I will see you on Friday. Merry Christmas. Bye now.